Hey, we're back again with another Blurg breakdown. So this time we're looking at Betrayer, so I'm just gonna hop in before chorus one and we'll see if there's any cool behind the scenes parts, any subtle things going on that'll be cool to show you guys. So Steve is on harmonies for this one.
Benign to me, but plain to say.
And that's a cool moment. But before we move any further, I just want to give some shout out to how cool this lead part is. I'll grab like a fuzzy. So I mentioned this on the No Authority one as well, but a lot of these big chorus guitars are usually doubled with a just disgusting, fuzzed out, like we call it a football, like a guitar that just goes in the middle that fills everything out. So it's not, again, something you don't really hear so much as just feel its presence. So I'll just have one of those guitars and for context and Sub's lead part, which is super dope and I think is like groupings of 5 and other kinds of weird stuff. So I'll throw in the click, but yeah. And that little turnaround, there's some interesting stuff going on. Let me see if I can find all the pieces. So like a lot of stuff is dropping out, and a lot of these things just end up being things that aren't necessarily written into the track, but just things that end up needing to happen to make, you know, going to the second time hearing a verse from the first time hearing a chorus, that's a natural motion downwards, so it makes the verse feel a lot bigger if you sort of pull the rug out of everything and then drop it back in. So just that little turnaround here, I'm just going to find some of the stuff that's going on, because most things drop out. Like Sub's guitar stays in, but most of the chorus guitars like reduce in volume, and the fuzz guitar comes up here. You can hear a very gross vocal, but yeah, the bass drops out. Other stuff sort of creates some space there. So yeah, let's listen to this turnaround bar. And these harmonies, which I think Mike Duncan called these cartel harmonies. He's not wrong.
How do you sleep at night?
There's lots of cool layers, like this super drenched layer. And that guitar part, that turnaround. Another thing that wasn't written into the arrangement, but once we had the drums and stuff done, we just wanted there to be something exciting happening there. So this, I call it the Chevelle section, because to me this is the most Chevelle sounding thing in the world, this part right here. Sub stuff. So this part actually, the way this was originally arranged was the main guitar part would like hit the chord and then play that upper voicing stuff. But we ended up splitting it up so that the main guitars are just playing the chord, and you can hear it's just like a big, fat 7th chord. And there's some moving stuff in here too. So yeah, like major 7 stuff that's really full and crunchy. Oh yeah, and this is another thing that was just yeah. Actually, I feel like that's the sort of the theme of this song. I think Matt and I talked about this. Most of this was probably the easiest one to track. We had played this one the longest. We had played it live. We had rehearsed it a good amount. It's a very simple, pretty straightforward song. There's a couple meter things, but overall, like the way it's built is so simple. That yeah, I think Soups did his parts in like 40 minutes for this. Like it was so dead simple. But once we had all that, and it was a 4 minute song. There were some places where the energy just needed to there just needed to be more in the arrangement. This is one of the simpler songs. I think it's like 100 tracks. Yeah, most of the other ones are a little bit bigger than this. Like No Authorities, like hitting the top of the track count. So this one was just finding ways to build more energy in these sections, things that would be cool to hear back again. So this is a great example of something that didn't exist, but that just got built out of the previous phrase. And some of the compressors are inactive right now, so I'll just lower some gains. So it's just to add tension notes around this part that we heard before. It's just has a very different vocal chain to it. And then these parts were not performed, but they were parts that were like electronically created to sort of make that part more tense. So these parts are very, very artificial and very low in the mix. Yeah, just totally, totally bizarre sounding. And then they just create this tension. It's such a good drum fill. Let's listen to those drums. Bunch of drums, bunch of drum samples. And these drums came out sounding great. Like, I'll just let you hear the drums. Like, already super massive. And then the samples just pushed it over the top. So not crazy, crazy different. We'll just A-B that again. It's with samples. It's without. Back with samples. Guitar change. That's such a fun riff too. That's another thing that was just added in production just because it just needed more excitement there than just playing through the chord. So there's actually, I think we built this one off of the drum fill. You'll hear the drums go pa-ta, pa-da-da-ta-ta, and then we just sort of wrote something to that. So that part was definitely written around Mike's idea without him knowing it. He just performed that fill, or I just found it in one of the comps and thought it was awesome, and then we wrote the part over it. One more time. You are a disease. Your name is profanity. Love it. So yeah, just little things you wouldn't hear that are under it, just making it feel even more horrible. Love it. And these vocals here, again, same as No Authority. It's layering Steve, Mike, and myself. So I think this one I'm just singing the melody stuff. Raider! And here it doesn't have a T because the T's are coming from everybody else. Flyer! So that's my stuff, and then Steve's stuff is sort of doubling it, higher pitch stuff and at pitch stuff. Raider! And these are some I just have for the first one, and then Mike's are the super low stuff. Raider! And he does another high thing as well there. Concepts. Very raw. I gotta play these at the end. They're so good. Yeah, the vocals here. Oh man, this yeah, it goes hard. Sick. And there's a huge melange of guitars that happen at the end. They're all harmonizing with each other. Let me pull all those up. We got our main guitar. Yeah, there's so many guitars at the end. It's crazy. Let me see if I can dial that back a little bit to hear some more distinctly. Oh yeah, one of these is like a delay that's oscillating down. I don't even remember what all this stuff is. So that's the extra one that goes with the main guitars. I'll play those, then I'll play the stuff on the side. And that one ends actually with, it's a B string that's being bent behind the nut. Here's the overlay. Ooh, spooky. Oh my god. I don't even remember most of what these are doing, but yeah, it's adding to the chaos. Let's hear that all together. Yeah, and that's Betrayer. I mean, this was definitely, I feel like with every project, there's one tune that just ends up being like falling into place really easily. For the first EP, that was Drown. Drown was mixed, like finished and mixed so much earlier than everything else. And I feel like that was this one where it was just really easy to get everything where it needed to be. And it was pretty straightforward as far as the tracking and production of everything. You just had to be high impact for 4 minutes and then end, essentially, is all it really needed to accomplish. So yeah, this one really doesn't have as many hidden stuff, as many tricks. It's just a lot of extra things fattening up the things that you are hearing. There's not as much subtle stuff fluttering around like there is on something like You Should Stay Home. But yeah, that's a little bit of what's going on behind the scenes for Betrayer.